Mini pigs and their water needs. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Autumn. I am the owner of Autumn Acres Mini Pet Pigs in Minerva, Ohio. I have worked really hard to help to educate mini pig families so that they can be successful. Today, we're going to answer the question, how much water does a mini pig need? Obviously, being a living being, pigs need water. Why? Proper bodily function, same reasons we do, but they also need water consistently because pigs are susceptible to something called salt toxicity. And what that is when a pig does not have water for a long period of time and they become very thirsty, then once they have access to that water, they overdrink. They drink way too much water. Well, the electrolyte balance in a pig's body is very delicate. So by over drinking way too much water, they throw off that electrolyte balance and it has neurological effects. It can cause all kinds of issues from vomiting, seizures. It can cause brain damage. It can cause death. So it's very important that we pay really close attention to the water intake that our pig gets and make sure that they get a good amount of water, the amount of water their body needs. And we're going to talk about how to know if your pig is getting enough water or too much water. The amount that each pig specifically needs is different. The amount of water each pig wants to drink is different. So there's no way that I can say, your pig needs 6 cups of water a day. Not going to happen. All pigs are different. They're built different. They're physiologically different. They have different needs and desires. So let's talk about how we can know if our pig is getting too much water. Okay, this is kind of an easy one. If your pig is having accidents all over your house, they're getting too much water. If your pig is, when they do pee, even if it's outside and they're literally peeing gallons and gallons of water, then we have an issue going on. They could have a particular kind of diabetes. I believe it's called diabetes insipidus, that is very dangerous to pigs. It must be treated. If your pig isn't drinking hardly any water and yet they're peeing gallons, get them to a vet, get them to a knowledgeable vet, preferably a teaching vet, a hospital clinic, something, or somebody extremely knowledgeable about pigs. If your pig is drinking and peeing at the same time, they're probably getting too much water. It's time to back off on that. Remember, depending on the size of your pig does not need, especially if you have a small pig, I'm talking a piglet. And this is where a lot of times that when people call me, they're like, my pig is having accidents all over my house. The first question I ask them is, how much water do they drink? And I have had people tell me from 2 to 4 gallons a day. Imagine like a human being, how large we are compared to a pig. If you drink 1 gallon of water a day, your bladder is like, whoa, I cannot hold it inside. We can barely make it to the bathroom. We're dribbling, like it's a lot. So compare that to a pig, right? As people, drinking a gallon of water is really good for us. But if we have a small pig, drinking a gallon of water is way too much water. We need to figure out why they're drinking too much water. Now, how do we know if our pig is drinking too little water? A lot of this stuff is common sense, guys. It's common sense. Think about a person. If we're not drinking enough water, what happens? It's the same with a pig. Not urinating, just not peeing. That's not good. Our pig should be peeing. Urine is a way that the body gets rid of toxins. It's the same with a pig. They should be urinating. They should not be drinking so little water or no water that they are not urinating. 2, very dark colored urine. Should not have dark colored urine. I like to shoot for clear to very light yellow urine. If it's just a light to medium yellow, depending on your pig, then your pig is getting enough water. But if that urine is dark yellow, or has a very strong, almost like ammonia-y smell, then it's possible that your pig is not getting enough water. And if when they are provided access to water, they literally can't stop drinking because they're so thirsty, that is a sign that your pig is not getting enough water and it needs to be offered more often. Now, many people online, many people say that your pig should always have access to water. You should never pick it up. They should always have access to water. And they're going to fight to the death on that. Well, then these people have never had a pig that is drinking gallons and gallons and peeing all over their home. So how do we know if we should leave water down for our pig 24/7, access all the time? First way, what does your pig do with the water? Do they play in it? Do they dump it? Are they quick to dump it? My pigs in the house, no matter what, if they are offered water and they're done drinking it, they're going to spill it every single time. It is such a huge mess and I hate it. So depending on what your pig does with the water tells you if you can leave it down or not all the time. Second point is, does your pig drink when they're bored? Because many pigs just want that physical act of eating. Remember, they do not have a brain-stomach connection. So that physical act of like putting food in their mouth or drinking something can be fulfilling for them. And they'll just do it because they're bored, because they want to eat, because they're bored. So if your pig is literally cannot be trusted with access to water 24/7, then you're going to have to figure something else out. So if these things are happening, then you don't want to leave water down 24/7. So what can we do? How can we make sure our pig is getting enough water? Offer water several times a day. I offer all the water they want for meals. And now remember, we're talking about inside pigs. We're not talking about outside pigs. We're talking about inside pigs. So at meals, my inside pigs are offered water until they stop drinking and they don't want any more. And the food is all gone. Whether I sprinkle the food or put it in the bowl, whatever it is, food is all gone. They are done eating. They are done drinking. So then what I do is I will pick up the bowl and I will save the water for later. And then depending on the weather, that's the thing. Depending on the weather, I will go down 1 or 2 times during the day and I will offer them more water. Inside pigs, not outside pigs. These are pigs in climate controlled areas. Our homes, cushy and comfy inside the house. So I will offer water a couple times a day. And that is whatever you have time for, whatever you feel is necessary. Some pigs just love to drink water. Other pigs don't like to drink water unless they're really thirsty. So whatever you and your pig work out. Now you could try 3 times a day in between there and see how that goes. And then of course I offer at dinner. So I offer in the morning 1 to 2 times a day. And then I offer it at dinner time. And when my pigs go outside, I have a bowl outside that's accessible. It's over by where the hose is. So if we're outside and they want water, they know where it is, so they can always get it. So, and of course, we go out before bedtime, so they have access to that water if they need it. Now, this changes if you have an outside pig or if you have a pig that spends most of the day outside. If they're spending their day outside, and especially when the temperatures are extreme, very cold, warm to hot, they need access to water at all times. Being outside changes the whole dynamics and what their body needs. So they need to have access to water. My pig Topanga, when she goes outside during the day, I have a bowl that I fill several times a day, depending on how much she drinks. On today's very cool outside. It's a beautiful summer day, but it's cool out. There's a breeze. And I went out to check her water and she really hadn't drank very much. Now, 2 days ago, it was about 95 degrees here in Ohio. And I filled her bowl 4 times that day. She was extra thirsty. So it's really important to pay attention to your pig, the climate that they are in, the temperature of the day, and what your pig needs that day, because it very well could change on a daily basis. So the most important thing for us to do is pay attention. Now, what if you work? What if you work and your pig how do you know if your pig needs water? Again, you offer it in the morning, you offer it with breakfast, you offer it with dinner. And then what you could do is you could leave a bowl with just a little bit of water in it. I'm not talking a ton. I'm talking, depending on how big your pig is, a cup or 2. Again, depending on what your pig does with that water. If they spill it and just make a mess with it, then they don't need it. Do you see what I'm saying? They don't need it if they're spilling the water and playing in it. Now, if you come home and the water is gone, they drank it, they're doing well holding their bowels. They're not having accidents all over the place like we would if we drink a gallon of water. Then we look at, okay, when I come home and do give my pig water, are they sucking it down like they've had nothing to drink all day? These are all things that we need to take into consideration. And if your pig is outside, it needs water at all times. If you have a question about a specific situation, please feel free to put it in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to answer if I can. I love helping pig families. This is what I do. If you need help with your pig, please feel free to reach out to me. I have so many resources that I can use to help you, or we could do a Zoom consultation where I can hear from you exactly what you're dealing with, and I can kind of explain why the situation's happening and walk you through it, how to fix it. So I thank you as always for watching my videos, and I'll see you next time.